It's just in case of Americans Talkin, joining our friend and media personality Jerry Maldonado. Also joined by his crowd of Facebook followers. So we're back for
I love you,
another
Robert.
we're back for another installment of Meatball Perspectives.
My people.
Your people,
Hey, man,
Jerry.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing? Hey, and welcome
I'm good,
back.
man. I got the utensils and I can hear you tonight, so it's all good.
Well, good, good. And we don't have any feedback at this moment, and that's exciting too.
Remember, I'm remote now, so yeah, you're gonna get a lot of you're gonna get a lot of feedback. These things start buzzing in my ear. I'm still getting used to this, all these appliances, but it works really well.
Well, good, good, good. Jerry, you wanted to talk about procrastination, and why don't we do it?
You know, what I've come to understand when it comes to procrastination is a lot of people are doing exactly what they don't want to do. And that's the main reason why they're procrastinating. And what, I'm going to share. I looked up procrastinate. It was actually called crastination. And the early 1800s used that. But since we've gotten so good, they put procrastinate on there because people have become so good at not doing what they love to do or putting on to the next day. It just means tomorrow, basically. And if you this is the problem. You put a medical diagnosis in front of procrastinate, and I got a whole page on my yellow pad full of all these issues: fear, overwhelm, low self-esteem, perfectionist. I mean, it goes on and on. What I've learned and what I've come to understand with procrastination is the fact that if you find your sweet spot, as Kevin Trudeau told in a great seminar, you find your sweet spot. There's no more hesitation to what you want to have, be, and do. Why? Because it feels good. It's really simple. You know, you and I were talking about my brother before we came on. We want to potentially incorporate him into a brothers roundtable kind of thing with the Americans Talkin. And when he found out what he loved to do, he won't shut the hell up, man. He's always on Facebook, and like you and I were talking before. I mean, you would never hear a word out of his mouth for years and years. He was very humble, very quiet, and he's finally doing what he loves to do, and it's just flowing. This is what I'm trying to tell people. If you find the sweet spot, there's no need to procrastinate because you have a direction. And indeed, it's a scientific direction because you're putting all your energy and focus on it. Therefore, you're going to attract more of it into your life. That alone should inspire you. If you use the science-backed data involved with law of attraction, the quantum field, all these other sciences involved, if you follow your bliss, what makes you happy, you can only recreate more of that. You can't lose at this game, man. You really can't. If you find that spot, like I do every day with this show and whatever I'm doing in life, I mean, there's no hesitation. I mean, it just flows. And I hope everybody can get to that point in their life where everything literally just flows out of them. And you will find that sweet spot. And there'll be no more procrastination because there's no more fear. There's no more prejudgment. There's no indecisiveness in your life because you're on the path that you've always wanted to be on.
Well, I think you're right, Jerry. And, I'm guilty of what I call prioritization.
Ooh,
I'll
a lot of
have,
syllables in that word.
yeah, I know, hard for me to say. It's a big word. I don't like big words, but I'll have 10 things to do, and they're all doable. But I'll waste time continually prioritizing them, as opposed to just getting after them and not
Yeah,
worrying about the
exactly.
priority.
Well, there's actually it's called Overwhelm.
Yes. Well,
I'm
that
going to add your name to the list on here. No,
no,
I get it. I get
yeah,
it. But that's also a passion because you have a lot of thoughts going on about what you want to
right,
do.
right.
You have all these ideas and create them. That's great. I mean, but you're doing the right thing. You're writing it down like I do every day. Without my list, I'm lost. I mean, literally, I have to have a sense of direction. Prioritize the list. But basically, everything's prioritized in my life. when it comes to what I'm doing. And it makes perfect sense because when you're following that, I mean, you're like you and I, we can't lose at this game because we're doing what we love. It's going to attract more of it in our life because we love doing it. It's when you're not happy with what you're doing in life, that's when you become indecisive because you got to do this and you got to do that. It's like getting into a relationship. I mean, the honeymoon stage. We all go bankrupt in the beginning. We just spend, spend, spend. We want to give, give, give because it feels good. You use that with your dreams and your passion in life. I mean, you're not going to lose at this game because it's a continuous flow, and ebb and flow. That's going to bring more of that ebb and flow.
Well, absolutely, and that flow is what we're all striving for. And,
Oh God, yeah,
and your goal so far tonight is everything is a priority, and it is. Everything we
yeah.
invest our time in is a priority.
You know, procrastination on many shows have been brought to in like a sad way. You're going to regret if you don't do it. All I'm saying is just find what you love. And that's it. You find what you love and let it map itself out. It's going to find itself. I had to go through this. As a this is a great example. And you being as a kid. I mean, we really didn't have much. That's fine. I had a lot of alone time. And during that time, you start thinking, you're fantasizing, you're imagining. I always saw myself as a kid on stage doing something. Well, I knew what it was, so I did all these different things. The Food Network, and I was a drummer for years, and this and that. But the point being is, it all ended up for me being on some kind of stage. What people don't like to do is go through that process. They want, snippy, snappy, results in their life. But if you're willing to go through the process and evolve from it, that vision you had or that imaginal picture you carry every day, it's going to evolve into. It may not be exactly what it is, but it's going to be the same feeling about it emotionally. And that alone is your attraction force in life, and that alone should inspire you to keep moving forward with it.
Well, I agree, Jerry, and one thing, unique thing that we both have, and I wish others could find this, is we find that journey an adventure. It's not a drudgery to us. It's a
Oh God,
curiosity. It's
great,
fascination.
great point. Great point.
So a lot of it is perspective. How do you look at it? How do you look at your typical day? And you and I tend to look at it in a very positive manner.
Oh, yeah, indeed. We're optimists. I get it. I mean, we've trained ourselves to look at the world from a whole new lens, a
Yeah.
different perspective. And indeed, like I said, trained ourselves because we were, like I said, we're on many shows in American Metro. We were born into love, but taught how to hate. You got to expunge all the old you to bring in the true you. And with that, optimism is a huge asset because if you're feeling good about the littlest things, man, like I do, I feel good about the littlest things in life. I had to train myself to do that, not force myself, but repetitively do it and remind myself how lucky I am, how blessed I am. I mean, you follow that kind of journey, like you said, you can only get better at it. Just like with your purpose, you can only get better at it. Just like your vision, you can only get better at it. It's a continual cycle that we bring about every day, practicing, evolving, thinking, imagining, practicing, evolving, thinking, imagining. You follow that kind of evolution of self. I mean, you're not denied. You're gonna it's gonna manifest. Oh, that's all I can tell people. What you love to do and you keep doing it every day, it's gonna manifest. You're not gonna lose at this game, man.
Absolutely. And I'd add a couple things to your list. One would be you need to learn to be objective and you need to pay attention.
Oh, observation, absolutely.
Yeah.
Observation. I mean, but observation, you're right in that sense from a spectrum of seeing what's going on and as far as a result. My version of it is all about here. I mean, when I turned inward to like, yeah, I get these ideas, that's great, but how do they feel? I mean, it's the question I ask myself. How do I feel about it? Well, when you're following your passion, your bliss, and most importantly on this journey, it feels good. There's not going to be any hesitation. Procrastination is not going to be in your in your vocabulary anymore because you have this objective and you see it with open eyes and you have a better outlook on life and your perspective has completely changed. I mean, these are the assets that I love to show people with my show. Because if it feels right, it's gonna come out right. But you gotta believe. You gotta have this. You gotta keep practicing the true you that you are. It doesn't just happen. It's in there. You just gotta show how to come out, man.
Right, right. Well, and you do have a unique perspective. I mean, you apply a lot of heart and soul to where you're going, and
Another great point.
I tend to be a little remiss at that at times. But I'm always trying to
You?
use, yeah, me. But I'm always trying to use
Well,
my mind to get me where I need to go.
well, your mind is getting you. Your mind is already getting you where you need to go.
Yeah,
Indeed, you're right. You're just overthinking, Meatball. All right, I just hit a list. Next.
yeah.
I mean, I'm going to get a couch for you, man. I got to get a nice couch for you to come lay on and tell me your troubles, but
Well,
not in a bad way. Not
I have
bad.
no troubles. I have some shortcomings, so to speak, at times, but
Yeah, we all do. I mean,
absolutely.
I'm insecure in so many areas of my life, but I mean, I won't, I'm not afraid to admit my so-called flaws per se. I don't use it against me. I learn from them. And hopefully people will not use that against themselves, but learn from that in essence. But you don't have to procrastinate when you're following your bliss. If it feels good, you keep doing it. If you follow through on it every day, you overcome those so-called shortcomings. Like you said, and that's just us being hard on ourselves. Because we're perfectionists in our own right mind. We like things a certain way. Nothing wrong with that. That's not being selfish. It's just doing it the way we want to do it and having it turn out the way we want to. Indeed, following the journey and letting it evolve is the same thing. And just with our perspective, no matter what happens, it's going to be all right because
Yes.
it's what we wanted anyway. It just comes maybe in a different way, a different form, a different setup. But you know what? It's still the same thing. We just with that perspective of optimism in our mind, it's gonna objectify. It's going to be a tangible effect in our life. And you and I know this. A lot of people know this. I mean, the most successful people know this. It's going to come to pass. Just got to be patient, enjoy the process, follow the journey, and watch how it comes.
Well, that's why, slang to me is people that say it is what it is. And I have a real
Yeah.
disdain for that because that's just giving up. If you give up,
Yes.
you're taking yourself out of the equation.
It's like you shrugging your shoulders. Yeah, whatever. I hate that word, whatever. It's
Yeah,
like, what do you
yeah.
mean, whatever? Whatever what, Meatball? What are you talking about? I go on with questions like that. It really drives people nuts and butts. I'm like, what do you mean, whatever? I mean, tell me, explain yourself. But yeah, I mean, that alone, attitude. You want to write that down? Attitude. You got to get rid of the attitude, man. I mean, people carry this pugnacious attitude about life. You got to fight it. Let it go. I know it's so easily said than done. I know. I get it. But that was one of them. I was always fighting life and everything I did. But that's how I was trained. I had to evolve a different way. And when you evolve a different way, life is going to come at you in a different way. It's how you see things that things start seeing you.
Well, and the only people that need to worry about attitude are pilots.
Yeah. Pilots, chefs, doctors. I mean, all these these guys out there. But no, I get it. You got to have that, arrogance, but not in a bad way. You and I have this propensity to love what we do every day. We know it's going to be all right. We know whatever we put out there is going to manifest. I mean, you can call that arrogance if you want to, but we're not just, we're not out there, thumping our chest like gorillas telling the world who we are. We're just doing it, and I hope people can do it for themselves. Just do it every day. Watch how it evolves. With a good attitude, knowing what you want, most importantly. A lot of people, like I did, when I was doing the thing in my 30s and early 40s, just throwing everything out there. I was like a pitcher with a menu, throwing curveballs, fastballs, and all these different objectives. I mean, none of them panned out because it's not what I really wanted to do. I was doing it out of desperation instead of inspiration. And that to me was a big wake up call. I said, wait, I'm trying, but I'm going after stuff I really don't want to do. I'm just trying to get ahead in life. That alone tells the universe you're full of lack, and it's going to give you more of that. And that alone should wake people up to the fact that when you find what makes you happy, know in your right mind that's going to evolve the way it's going to evolve.
Well, absolutely. All right, Jerry. Now you've been on your soapbox, and I can't disagree with any of it. Why don't you leave us with a couple final tools that we can use going forward to make ourselves.
I, I can babble on about all kinds of things all night. I don't shut the hell up, man. I think my brother caught that same kind of syndrome. But when Ozzy passed away,
Ozzy.
his all of a sudden now I'm getting all the feeds of all the kids, and they're his son Jack finally posted something about his dad, and this really hit home for me. He goes, "Thank you for all the well wishes. We're all going through a tough time right now, but most importantly, I was lucky enough to spend 15,860 some odd days with my dad. Really, that's not a lot of time. It's not. When he's in, I think in his early, I think he's 40 now, I think. But really think about that. I mean, we don't really have a lot of time. I and if I can stress it enough, every day you waste is the day that doesn't come back. Why procrastinate? Find out what you truly desire and let life take control of it by you just emitting the energy out there every day. And watch how things and ideas and all these situations come together in your life, but you got to be proactive with it. In other words, thinking about it constantly, giving all your energy to it, like you and I do with our work. We love it. It just flows naturally. It's going to feel unnatural until it feels natural. Pushing that narrative every day, watch how life expands for you.
I like it. I like it, Jerry.
Add to the
So,
list.
add it to the list. So, to avoid procrastinating on getting out of here, why don't we put this one in the can?
Absolutely. Indeed, it is.
All right. Hey, everybody. This has been Justin Case and Jerry Maldonado and his Facebook audience, bringing you Meatball Perspectives. Thanks for joining us. Remember, additional information and links provided in this video is read more. Today is the day to subscribe to this channel. Please learn more about Jerry Maldonado when time permits.